Yo guys, what's up? AD the RPA guy here. By the end of this video, you'll have data, statistics, as well as my personal and professional opinion on why I've come to the conclusion that you do not need a degree, nor do you need any freaking certifications in order to be in tech. More specifically, I will give you the 4 reasons why I know degrees and certifications are not a requirement to snag a $100,000 position within the tech industry. But first, let's talk about why this topic is important in the first place. The topic is important because, one, it is the single biggest limiting belief that I see holding people back from living the life that they always desire to. It is also the single biggest limiting belief that I see that leads people to wasting their hard-earned money and their precious time that they'll never get back. Now, me personally, I understand I'm splurging and kind of wasting money here and there, but I can't stand to waste my time, and I assume that you don't like wasting your time either. Now, why should you care about this information? You specifically, the viewer watching this right now, I believe you should care about this because changing this belief, this single belief, could be the only thing standing between you earning an extra $100,000 in your tech career in the next 6 months or being stuck exactly where the fuck you are 6 months from now. Now that is a scary thought, my friends. The first piece of evidence I like to submit to you as to why I believe that degrees and certifications are not needed today is that there is a severe shortage of developers in the tech field. Just doing a simple search on Google for "is there a shortage of developers in the tech field" brings up this response from Google's AI Gemini. It says, yes, the tech industry is experiencing a shortage of developers and the issue is expected to worsen over the next decade. Demand is growing. Right? There are many unfilled jobs. Employers are struggling to find talent. 66 to 90% of U.S. employers struggle to find the skills they need. Employers struggle to find the skills they need, and tech positions are among the top 10 hardest roles to fill. The skill gap is increasing. Those who do apply often don't have what it takes, both in technical know-how and those people skills that tech needs. Tech is changing fast. Guys, this data is basically saying that there is a shortage of people, okay? When there's a shortage of people, that means the people who are available, the people who are talented enough, the people who do have the technical skills and the personal skills are in high demand. You can't be in high demand and have high requirements. It doesn't make sense. Therefore, you do not need a degree or certifications. That is just BS that people tell themselves. Along that same argument, I want to show you an article from entrepreneur.com. The developer shortage crisis could devastate the tech workforce. Here's why and how leaders should act now. If you work in technology, you've likely seen the headlines bemoaning the ongoing developer shortage. Demand for skilled developers has increased steadily over the last few years, but the supply has failed to keep up. The International Data Corporation has predicted a global shortfall of 4 million developers by 2025. If we don't act now, the global talent shortage could result in approximately $8.5 trillion in unrealized annual revenues by 2030. Guys, what this is saying in layman's terms is there's $8.5 trillion that should be going to developers that will not be going to them because they don't exist. Okay? I am telling you, this marketplace is wide open. Now let's scroll down and keep reading a bit more. They say that they should utilize non-traditional methods. Fostering a new generation of developers means organizations must implement non-traditional methods to identify and attract talent. First, look at your job descriptions. Are they accessible to those with unconventional backgrounds? Do away with degree requirements and develop job descriptions that focus less on credentials and more on skills necessary to succeed in the role. Furthermore, train hiring managers and recruiters to untangle their biases and identify transferable skills in the candidate's application. This is entrepreneur.com, theentrepreneur.com, saying get away from requiring degrees. Okay. And a degree is far harder to get than a certification is. They're saying drop your fucking requirements and just find people who have the skills. That is where we are. That is how much of a shortage that there is. Okay. So I rest my point on that one. The first reason why I know and why I believe that degrees and certifications are not needed is because there is a severe shortage of developers in the tech field. And this is also why I recommend that you get into RPA development. The next reason I'd like to submit to you as to why I know you do not need degrees or certifications to work in tech is that the top tech firms have officially declared you no longer need a degree to hold high paying positions within their firms. The first piece of evidence I like to show you actually comes from NJ.com. So this is the website that is specific to New Jersey. However, the title says, and this was posted April 28th, 2024. So this is recently, that's this year. These 8 major companies no longer require college degrees for high paying jobs. Walmart, $1 billion company. Home Depot, $1 billion company. Verizon, $1 billion company. IBM, Google, Tesla, GM, Accenture. All these are $1 billion companies, not a single billion, multiple billions. These $1 billion companies are now saying you do not need a degree to work for us, okay? And a degree is far harder to come by than a certification. If you don't need a degree, I can assure you, you do not need a certification, okay? They're saying we are rewriting job descriptions for our campus jobs to factor in the skills people possess alongside any degrees they hold. This creates an either or option for an applicant. To be considered for the job, you can have a related college degree or possess the skills needed for the job, whether through previous experience or other forms of learning. That means if you are self-taught, or if you go through some sort of a boot camp, or if you somehow, some way find your way to getting the skills that we need, we are open to hiring you. Okay. My next piece of evidence comes from CBSnews.com. More U.S. companies no longer requiring job seekers to have a college degree. Employers across a range of industries are dropping a job requirement once considered a ticket to high-paying job and financial security, a college degree. Okay. Part of it is employers realizing they may be able to do a better job finding the right talent by looking for the skills or competencies someone needs to do the job and not letting a degree get in the way of that. Okay. Prioritizing skills over diplomas. Additionally, 45% of employers surveyed by the firm said they had done away with degree requirements for certain roles over the past year. 72% of firms said that they prioritize candidate skills and experiences over the diplomas they hold, according to ZipRecruiter. Guys, you are going to hear me say this 1,000 times probably. There's very, very little difference between business and dating. This is like the world's most beautiful, most sought after women, the Beyoncés, the Megan Goods, the Kardashians, the IG models, etc., saying, we have officially declared you don't need to marry us in order to keep us around forever. That's essentially what these tech firms are saying, right? So if the biggest companies in the world, the most profitable companies in the world are saying you don't need degrees or certifications to work here, it is only a matter of time before the smaller, less profitable, less well-known, less successful companies saying you don't need that shit to work here either, okay? And to put it back into the dating perspective, that's like the 9s and 10s saying you don't need to marry us or you don't need to, meet these high requirements to have us. It's only a matter of time before the 3s, 4s, and 5s have to get in alignment as well, because a 4 and a 5 cannot have a higher standard than a 9 and a 10. That is ludicrous. Okay. That is essentially point 2. These billion-dollar companies are no longer requiring degrees or certifications in order to access high-paying roles within their organization. The third reason I submit to you that you do not need a college degree or a certification in order to do this is I have personally worked with people in tech who had no college degree, no certifications. They were self-taught developers. They taught themselves enough of the skills to get the job, and they had their employers pay for their degrees and certifications after they got the job. And this stems back to like 2012. I did my very, very, very first internship as a software developer in 2012, okay, for a company that is now owned by IBM. And I'll never forget, I was talking to my manager and, because I had yet to graduate with my degree. And I was saying, obviously I got to have a degree to work here, right? And he was like, well, actually, that's not the case. There's plenty of people on the floor. And he's like, I can't tell you who their names are because I can't give out people's education, but there's several guys who you were working with hand in hand today who don't have degrees. We brought them on at a lower pay and we let them prove themselves over the first 6 months. And then once they showed us that they knew how to do the job and get the job done, we increased their pay to where everybody else's pay was. And we paid for them to go and get their bachelor's or to go get their master's, guys. This was 2012. This was over a decade ago. Okay. This is before tech boot camps were popping up. And this is before RPA was even a thing. Right. So This is the third reason I would submit to you, is because I've personally worked with people in tech who had no degrees and no certifications. Like this is not a new thing. Like this is really some BS when people are thinking that you need all these credentials and shit. No, you just need to be able to do the job, and you need to be able to show up and interview like the guy who's capable of doing the job. If you can get them to believe you can do the job, that's really all you need. And the fourth and final reason I know, or I believe, that you do not need a degree or certification in order to break into this industry and make six figures is I have personally gotten people into the tech industry earning $100,000 with no certifications. 0% of my graduates have had a certification. Okay. I run RPA University. I've been doing RPA for half a decade now, and I've gotten several people into the industry. None of them have a certification. They don't have one. I don't have one. No one I know in this industry has a certification. Are there people with it? Sure. But what my grads can do is they can do the fucking job. Okay. The lowest educated person who's graduated my program and went on to get employed in tech and earn six figures had a community college degree, or an associate from a community college, guys. So this is kind of why I get so frustrated and so passionate about this, because like you guys keep giving me this BS. I needed a certification. I had one guy say, no one's even going to look at me if I don't have a certification. And it's like, bro, who told you this bullshit? Why are you listening to these people? It's like the blind leading the blind. Like you don't even know anyone in tech who's making $250,000, $500,000, $600,000. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're talking to people who don't know what they're talking about. In conclusion, am I telling you not to get a college degree? No. Kind of, sort of, but not really. No. Am I telling you not to get a certification? No. Am I telling you to get rid of the belief that I must have a degree or a certification in order to get into a high-paying tech career? 1000% yes. I'm saying let go of that bullshit belief, okay? This is an AD, the RPA guy quotable. I want you to take this to the bank, okay? If you still desire to hold on to this belief after this video, it's probably because it's a safe bullshit story you get to tell yourself to help yourself sleep at night. You get to say, oh, well, I would love to break into tech. I'd love to make 100,000. I love to make six figures, right? But I don't have the money to get a certification, or I don't have the time to get a certification, so therefore I can't do it. It's BS, okay? If this is you, if you're that type of person, I want you to unsubscribe from my channel right now, because I cannot help you and I have no desire to speak to you at all, okay? However, if you're the other kind of person who says, you know what, you've presented a strong argument here. I can see that this belief has been holding me back. Now that I know the truth of the matter, I think I have the confidence to move forward with accomplishing my goal of working in tech. Okay. If you are that second person, I want you to click the link below and see if you qualify for booking a screening call. Okay. Only use the link if you have some savings set aside and you're ready to invest in a luxury boutique tech mentorship experience. There is nothing like RPA University on the market today. Okay. RPA University is the Rolls Royce of the tech mentorship programs. We screen about 20 to 25 people per week, and we only accept about 10% of our applicants. Okay. I am in the process of building the world's largest network of RPA developers. If that's something you'd like to apply to be a part of, then click the link below in the description and see if you qualify for a screening call with me or one of my teammates. Otherwise, if you're not in the position to partake in a luxury product at this moment, but you do want some personal coaching on what steps you can take in order to make progress on your goal of breaking into the tech industry, I want you to click the link in the description to book a one-on-one coaching call where we will spend about 30 minutes or so strategizing on how you can implement my simple 4-step system to break into any avenue within the tech industry. Okay. Last 2 pieces of information. 1, I want you to share this video with somebody. I want you to share this video with someone who tells you, or who's ever told you, or who you constantly hear saying you need a degree or you need a certification to break into the tech industry. And I want you to share this with them and say, hey, bro, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Be quiet. Okay. Secondly, somewhere here on the screen is going to be pinned one of my earlier videos titled RPA, the simplest tech skill that there is. Okay. Now that I've disproving the belief that you need a certification or degree or any of that BS there. I want you to go see how simple of a tech skill that RPA is. It is the simplest tech skill I have ever laid my eyes on, and people are making money like hundreds of thousands, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 as an RPA developer in tech. And RPA University is the leading premier luxury tech boutique mentorship program that is creating the world's largest group of RPA developers. So if that is something that you're interested in, then I highly suggest that you watch this video so you can too see how simple it is. And till next time, peace.